Hello, everyone. My name is Eric, and welcome to part 70 of the American Show. Let us begin. So, Patrick was laying down on his bed next to his girlfriend when he wanted to, get something to eat at the Silver Cat restaurant. And so he went by himself. He decided that he was going to spend some alone time by himself, of course, and so that's what he did. And, it wasn't in the morning time; it was in the afternoon, and he just decided that he was going to do that. And so he just went outside, and before that, he got dressed, and he went outside, and he got in his Actually, he didn't. Well, actually, he didn't have a car, but he decided that he was gonna walk anyway, and that's what he did. He walked around Civic Cat and had a good time with his walk, looking for the best restaurant there for lunch. So after a couple minutes of walking, he finally found a restaurant that he could eat from. So it was a free restaurant, of course. Of course, he had some money, but he didn't want to spend it. He didn't want to necessarily spend his money on anything that was expensive, and so he just decided that he was gonna find a free restaurant because he read in the newspaper a long time ago that Silver Cat was the leading country of free restaurants, and he wanted to try it out, and so he found a free restaurant, of course, and he just sit down on the table and asked for his order, of course. So he was like have a good time, just enjoying his meal, and then all of a sudden he saw the news that was coming out from America, and it terrified him. So he was like, okay, this is not going to end well. I hope everybody's going to be okay, but I don't know if his daughter is going to be okay with this because this is a war that's going to happen, and this is not going to be good. He thought to himself, and then he decided that he was just gonna eat eat the rest of his lunch. You know what I mean? And everybody was just going to have a good time, and he was just going to have a good time eating his lunch. And so that's what he continued to do. After a couple minutes, he finished his lunch. Of course, he got back, you know, out the restaurant. He got back outside to walk back home. Of course, his temporary home. And so he just walked back. So he was walking back home and having a good time. It was about to become 5 o'clock there in a few minutes at that particular point in time. And then he just decided that he had some time to kill and he was just gonna walk around the city for a while. And so that's what he did. He walked around the country. He played some like soccer with some kids, you know what I mean, that was around him. And he just was having a good time. He saw he wanted it to sit down on the floor, and so that's what he did. He sat down on the floor and he just sat lay down on the floor and just hung out for a while. And he was thinking about how terrible his friend's accident was, and he wondered how she was doing. Of course, his friend, mm, of course, being Randy Gold, of course, and he thought about her a lot, but he realized that everything's gonna be fine. Nothing's going to go wrong, you know. She's going to be okay. And so, of course, he took solace in that. She's probably recovering and she's probably finding her way back from this bad situation. Finding her way back from this horrible situation and fighting as hard as she can. At least that's what he thought, at least. And so he spent a couple of minutes on the ground. He got back up, dusted himself off, well, dusted himself off, and kept walking back home, back to his girlfriend's mansion. And he was like having a good time walking. He looked around, like saw some mansions there, saw some castle there, and just welcome. He was just walking. He was just walking down the street, of course, and couple cars almost hit him, but he didn't get mad. You know, they did. They most certainly did, but he didn't, of course. Excuse me, and so he kept walking. He kept walking down the street, and he finally came home, and dinner was waiting for him by the home chef, and his girlfriend, his daughter, and that was it. They were all like waiting for him to come back home, and he opens the door as he opens the door and arrived. He hugged his girlfriend, kissed his girlfriend, hugged his daughter, said hello to the chef, and sat down and ate his dinner. I mean, he talked about how beautiful Silver Cat was and how beautiful his walk was too. I mean, and he just had a good time walking down the street for a moment, and then he told them what happened, and then he told them what happened in America. He told Jackie one, his daughter, and Jackie two, his girlfriend, that America was going to war with Mexico. And they were both like, and they were shocked. But they knew they had something to do with the banning of movies, and so they didn't really, they weren't that shocked. You know what I mean? They, they, they weren't that shocked about it. And so they just kept eating their dinner, having a good time, laughing with each other. And that was it. He went back. After the dinner, he wanted to go to bed, so that's what he did. He got in his pajamas, as you do, and he just laid down right next to his girlfriend, and slept. To be continued. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below, and share the video, comment on the video, subscribe to my channel. Everything is clearly now? Great. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.